today. So can anyone please tell me? So how many people joined today? So anyone, any new person? Just share your introduction. Hello. Any new joinee here? Okay, because I will start from the previous class. So if anyone joined new, so please inform me. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Nitin Joshi, sir.
Yeah, Nitin, please. Nitin, you can off your video. So please off your video. There is no need to show your face. Okay. Yes, Nitin, please continue.
Yes, sir. Today I have joined. Sir,
Yes.
My voice is coming back to me.
Sorry?
My voice is coming back to me.
No, my voice is okay. Is my voice is okay?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. It's absolutely audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, guys, let's start this session. See, guys, if you are not watching my videos last session, so here in the chart, it's already there. Okay. So in chart already, some of the videos are already there. So this one is there. Okay. This is the last class. And this one is last class. So almost 3 sessions covered. So these are all basic sessions. Or you can directly go to my YouTube channel and you can also check that videos, it's already updated. So if you are not watching my videos earlier or not attended my classes, so you can just go to videos. So here, see, this is day 3, part A and part B is already updated, and day 2 and day 1, day 2, day 3 and day 4. These are all basic classes. Okay, so that is the reason I'm uploading in YouTube channel. So after that it will be stopped. See, guys, in the last session we are explaining about SAP FICO consultant roles and responsibilities, right? Okay, so almost we covered strategic level, business blueprint, and next level is configuration level. Okay, so some of the areas that we need to cover. Okay, anyhow, I will give you overview about the last session. As I told earlier, so SAP FICO or S4 HANA consultant roles and responsibilities can be classified as strategic level, operational level, troubleshooting, and sorry, before that one more, implementation level, will including also strategic and operational. This is the big one. So main pillar is configuration. End user training, implementation and complaints. Okay, so these are all levels that SAP FICO or S4 HANA consultant will work in real time. So I already covered what is strategic level, operational level, and up to implementation level. But in the today's session, so anyhow, I just brief what exactly the strategic and operational level and implementation. I will finish up this roles and responsibilities today. And tomorrow we will continue one more topic. The topic is types of projects in SAP. And see guys, already I told you and already informed many times, we have only 4 classes in a week. That timings and details will be informed one day before or 6 hours before in the chart. So you need to alert if any chart message will come. And so like in WhatsApp, you should be active, right? So here also you need to be more active in the chart, because in the coming days, there are several kind of issues will come up. So and so the people will share that error messages in the chart, and it is also your responsibility to resolve that issues if you know. If it doesn't know, you can make a practice and do your analysis and submit the answers. So that is also fine. So here today topic is strategic level, operational level, implementation level. So these 3 areas I already covered in the last session. Strategy means you already know what is strategy. What is the meant by strategy? It's a planning, right? So as a FICO consultant, so we are not part of a strategic level. Okay. So many high level people will be participate in the strategic level. So project managers, delivery heads, okay, team leads will be participate in the strategic level. So they will involve the goal settings and to setting objectives and to setting the SLA just like service level agreement. So we need to understand what exactly the client requirements and goals, objectives and SLA, and what is the business process of the client. So these are all things we need to means that senior management will analyze, and after that, so they will set up one meeting, right? So in that meeting, you will be participate. That meeting is called as a kickoff meeting. Okay, so you are part of kickoff meeting in the strategic level, but setting goals and objectives and high level plannings, your senior leads and project managers, delivery managers will be taken care. The rest of the things like so introduction with your colleagues, team members, SD, people, so all the meetings and all, so those things will be happened in the strategic level at the kickoff meeting. Okay, so you are part of kickoff meeting in the strategic level, and once the planning is done, then the next step would be operational level. Okay, so what is operational level? So here your duty is to gather the business requirement. Okay, to gather the business requirements of the client. So what is the business requirement that we need to gather from the client is to know how many company codes that the client contain. Okay, what is how many business areas are there, how many plants are there, how many purchase organizations are there, how many sales organizations are there, and how many house banks are there. Okay, how many customers are there, how many vendors are there, what is the P2P process of the client, what is the OTC process of the client. So these are all stuff that we need to gather from client. As a FICO consultant, based on the business information, you will have to configure in the SAP system. So for that point of view, so initial discussions will be happened with the end users. So end users are just like those people who already done their accounts and finance background. They come up with accounts and finance background. They will be joined as a end user. End user activities means finance accounts related activities. They will prepare the financial statements, right? So they will participate in entire financial reporting activities. End users will do the same. So your duty is to gather the information from the end users to get the business information. So all the business information you need to gather for that point of view. So at the initial stage, you will have to touch base with the end users and set up different kind of meetings. Okay, team meetings, and also you can set up business meetings, and you need to write some emails, and also chat conversation. Everything will be going on at the initial stage. So after that, the next step would be implementation level. This is the pillar of configuration. See, implementation level means it's a completely configuration. See, this is also part of implementation, operational level, strategy. These are all part of implementation level. but the main thing is only configuration. Okay, so this is the technical aspect. Okay, this is technical aspect. So that is, once you get the information from the business, the next step should be you need to configure the system. Okay, you need to map the business business scenarios in the SAP system. You need to customize. If a client requirement is different, then we need to do the customization, right? So in the operational level, so how many documents should be prepared? As is document, okay, to be document, and gap analysis. These are three documents we need to prepare in the operational level. Okay, so this is planning. Strategic means planning, and operational means blueprint. Okay, this is configuration. Okay, so in the implementation level, so it is your duty to configure AP, AR, GL, asset accounting, controlling related configuration, everything you need to configure. Okay, not restricted in a single area. So implementation means overall business information you need to configure first. So in implementation level, so there are two types of configurations. Two types of configurations. We need to perform. Two types of configurations we need to perform. So one is baseline configuration. Is final configuration. Okay. So baseline configuration means whatever the basic requirements are there with client, like P2P process, OTC process, whatever the business requirement that is very vital for day-to-day business activities. So those configuration we need to do in the initial stage. So that means 80% of majority of configurations will be covered in the baseline configuration. Like AP, AR, GL, asset accounting, withholding tax, basic controlling area, controlling configuration. These are all very much important, and so these required the business. These configurations are very important for the business. So those configuration initially we will finish up, and the final configuration is just like so any gap related stuff. Gap. What is gap? Gap is just like difference between as is and to be. So whatever the client business information is there, that is called as a as is. As is means client business information. So as is document will be shared by our client. Okay. So based on that as is information, you need to prepare one SAP document. So that document is called as a to be document. To be document means a technical document, SAP document, and it is also called as a future document. So this document should be prepared by SAP FICO consultant. And gap means, so whatever the client business information is there, sometimes not possible to map into SAP system. See, SAP system is to be. Okay. So to be document prepared for SAP. As is will be given by our client. Gap means difference between as is and to be. So whatever the business information is there with client, that is not possible to map into SAP system. Some of the business scenarios are not possible to map into SAP system. So that case, so we will connect our ABAPer first. Okay, if ABAPer says there is a feasibility at all, then he will finish up that configuration and give you the guidance and suggestions. So initial stage. But if ABAPer says there is no feasibility at all, then you can directly contact SAP. Okay, because this server will be provided by SAP, right? So SAP will take care of that issue. Okay, for that point of view, you need to go to SAP portal, and your company will give you the login credentials for SAP, and then you need to raise that ticket. Okay, they will help you out. So they will help you out. It is completely technical aspect. So whatever the functionality is there with the business, that is not possible to map into SAP system. Okay, that case SAP will provide you the solution. The normal case like functional related issues or any ABAP related issue, they will not help. Okay, only any challenges that is completely gap between the SAP and business. So the scenarios is not possible to map into SAP system. So that case only they will help you out, right? Any gap related stuff or integration. So SAP FI module is integrated with the MM module, PP module, and HR module. So CO module. So this is just like integration. FI module is not only linked with the MM, and it is also integrated with the SD module, PP module, HR module, CO module. So after completion of MM configurations, after completion of HR configurations, after completion of PP configuration, then final step should be integration. Okay, we need to link SAP FI system to another module. Okay, so that case integration point will come, right? Integration point will come. So and any developments, enhancements which are required for the business, that case also done in the final configuration. So these things will come in the gap. Okay, so here till then I explained yesterday in the last session. I explained from operational level to configuration level. Okay, so I explained strategic level, operational level, and implementation level. So if you want to watch up these videos, then here it's already uploaded. So just go through these document videos and you will get some idea. Okay. So this is news to new trainees. And today I'm going to cover some of the important areas. So the first thing should be planning. Okay? And the second one should be blueprint. And the third one become configuration. And fourth one should be testing. Go live. So these are all phases. These phases will be part of implementation. Okay. See, implementation is not only configuration. So it is also implementation is also just like planning, blueprint, configuration, testing. These are all things will be covered in implementation level 1. Okay. So far I explained planning, blueprint, configuration, and the next step would be testing. Okay. So testing is very important. So in real time, there is separate team will be there for the testing activities. If the company doesn't have such a budget to maintain the testing team, then SAP FICO consultant will alone do this all the testings. Okay, there are several kind of testings that we need to perform in real time. So some of the testings that I am going to explain right now: unit testing, so UAT, user acceptance testing, so and SIT, system integration testing, okay, and regression testing, okay, and system performance testing. Okay. Next, security testing. These are the best examples of testings. Okay. So what is the testing tool? They will ask you interview. What is the testing tool that you and that in your company using? So you can say testing tool is ALM. ALM means application lifecycle management. Okay. So testing, see, first one is planning. Once the planning is done, then next we need to keep everything in blueprint. So blueprint is just like documentation. In S4 HANA, there is no blueprint. Okay. In ECC versions, we have blueprints. Like, so there are several methodologies will be there for implementation. Okay. For S4 HANA, greenfield methodology, active methodology, okay, and brownfield methodology. Okay, so these are all methodologies that we need to use in S4 HANA. But in case of ECC version, just like SAP methodology and waterfall methodology, agile methodology. Okay, so these are all methodologies will be there. Methodologies are useful for how to implement SAP system. Okay, so how to analyze the business information, and the same thing how we can map into SAP system. So methodologies will be there. Methodologies are nothing but guidance. Okay, some of the guidance. So here, so in the coming classes, I will explain what is the difference between S4 HANA active methodology and ECC version SAP methodology. So these two methodologies are very important nowadays. And if you want to implement ECC version for any kind of implementation for business process, then you can use the SAP methodology. Right now, all projects are all projects are using only active methodology. Okay, everything right now in S4 HANA up to 2020, everyone using SAP methodology. But right now, so we are using active methodology for S4 HANA projects mostly. And so these things I will explain in the coming classes. Okay, so blueprint is just like a documentation. Okay, once the planning has been completed, then the next step would be blueprint, and the next step should be configuration. So configuration means what? So here the different kind of configurations we need to do. So there are two types of configurations that we need to perform in real time, and baseline configuration and final configuration. So whatever the basic requirements are there, that configurations are very important. So for clients, so these configurations we need to finish up at the early stages, and the final configuration is just like the rest of the configurations, like any reports, enhancements, customizations, or gap related stuff, or integration points. So those things will be done in the lastly. So here, so up to configuration I just now completed, and testing. Okay, testing means there are several kind of testings that we need to perform in real time. So the first step is unit testing, UAT testing, SIT, system integration testing, regression testing, performance testing, security testing. So actually in real time there is separate team will be there for the testing activities in the implementation phase. Okay, that testers will be there. So testing will be done through manual way and automation. Okay, so actually as a FICO consultant, we will participate more on the manual testing process. So how it is done, that manual testing process and all. So next classes I will explain one by one. So these are the all basic terminology that I am going to share you, because you people understand exactly what is the SAP requirements. Okay, so ALM is the tool, application lifecycle management tool. Okay, so this is the tool generally used for the testing activities. So in this tool, all the test scripts will be attached. So what is the test scripts for whatever the configurations you have done? So for that configurations, you need to prepare test scripts. Okay, so that test scripts results, whether it is a test is passed or failed, so those details will be updated in the ALM tool. ALM tool is for only for particularly specifically designed for the testing activities. Okay, so in real time, these kind of testing activities that you come across, so UT, UAT, SIT, regression testing, system performance, security testing, right? So these are all testing activities that we need to do in the real time. Okay, so this is a testing. Okay, so I will explain one by one what is unit testing, user acceptance testing, SI testing. Once I come to SAP methodology, so in that area, so I will clearly explain what is UT and UAT, SIT and all. So these are all basic classes are going right now. So you people understand the terminology and catch up the SAP requirements. Okay, at least if you understand the basic terminology, that is also fine to me. So that in the coming classes I will cover entire stuff, so you people should understand easily. Okay, so that is the reason I'm taking the only theoretical sessions in the initial stages. So after the 3 or 4 classes, I will take directly in the SAP system. Okay, so that case we will do the configuration from the scratch. Okay, so these are all theoretical areas that will enrich your skill set in the project level. So if anyone asks you any kind of questions related to project, then you can easily understand, and you can easily you can easily say to other people, right? So that is the reason I will initial stages I will cover only theoretical aspects. So once you become perfect in the theoretical aspects, then I will move to configuration in SAP system. Okay, so generally what happened, so every institution will start from the scratch, just like configuration area. So they won't explain these important terminologies and testing activities and methodologies. These are all things will be covered in the last. Okay, these are all things will be covered in the last. But in my classes, I will cover the basic requirements for the SAP FICO consultants. Okay, so in that case, you people at least understand these areas, then you can move to configuration area. These are all things will be comes under the implementation level. Okay, and there is one more activity that we need to perform in real time. So this is completely technical aspect, RISIF. Okay, very important concept. So RISIF means workflow. Okay, and R means reports. I stands for interfaces, and E for enhancements, and F for forms. So this is very important concept in real time, and most of the interview will try to ask you more questions from this RISIF area, because this concept should be completely linked with your ABAPer. Okay, so ABAP consultant. So the interview will check it out how much. So guys, please keep your audio mute. Narasimhalu, please off your video. So interview will try to ask you many interview questions from this area only, because they will test out how much knowledge you have in the technical aspects. So that is the reason they will focus more on the RISIF concepts. So this is very important area. See, almost 70 to 80% of work with a paper in real time. So this is just like client requirement. Based on the client requirement, we need to do some customizations. So for that point of initially we will have touch base with ABAPer. So 70 to 80% will be work will be in ABAPer in this case. Okay, 70. So we need to coordinate with ABAPer. So regarding this RISIF concept. So for the time being, I just giving you terminology what exactly mean by RISIF. I will take 1 or 2, 3 classes for RISIF concept only in the last sessions. Okay, so these things will be done in last. Okay, in the last classes. Okay, not right now. So this is advanced classes. Okay, so RISIF is just like workflow, reports. I means interfaces, enhancements, and forms. Okay, so these things are very important in real time, and many of the interview will focus more questions on this area. So they will ask you some of the interfaces in which are integrated with SAP. So tell me what is interfaces and enhancements and forms, reports, customization. So this is a 3 days class. So I will cover up these sessions last, not right now. See, once planning is done and a blueprint phase is done, and then configuration is done, then testing and system design, customization and everything done, then system will move to go live activity. Okay, so go live. What is go live? Can anyone tell me what is go live? See, those things will be discussed also in the session. Right now, please do not send any messages. Okay, training certificate we will provide you, and regarding the server access, we will share you the details to you right now. So please focus on the class. Yes, anyone, please.
After all setting all the configurations, it's the duty of the end user to load up all the transactions of the client.
Okay.
The company will use the SAP.
See, go live means, see, all the configurations and all the system design, developments, enhancements, forms, everything has been completed. All the testing activities has been completed. All the configuration has been completed. All the data loading, migration activities have been completed. Then the final step should be go live. That means, so all the cutover activities. Here I didn't explain the cutover activities. So what is cutover activities? I will explain in the next classes. Okay. So cutover activities means if the client has already 50,000 customers are there. Okay. 50,000 customers are and 10,000 vendors are there. Okay. And already 2,000 materials are there. So all the information should be uploaded. All the information should be uploaded from non-SAP to SAP. That means if the client has already data, then that data is already in non-SAP system, not SAP. So that data should be migrated from non-SAP to SAP. So that case, we need to upload all these 50,000 customers or 10,000 vendors and 2,000 materials through tools will be there. There are two tools for the uploading activities, LSMW and BDC. Explain later sessions what is LSMW and BDC. So these are high level concepts. Okay. So we need to upload entire 50,000 customers and 10,000 vendors, 2,000 materials, whatever the client information, master data, transactional data will be there. Okay. That data will be loaded through LSMW or BDC to SAP, non-SAP to SAP. That means, so already client has some data. Okay. But not in SAP system. So that data need to migrate from non-SAP to SAP. So there are two tools will be there. One is LSMW and BDC. Okay. So this is cutover activities. That means we need to switch off the non-SAP system and we need to use the SAP system. Okay. That means end user daily they will start posting the entries. That means SAP backend work should be completed, and now the front end work will be started. Front end work means, so every day the end users means accounts, finance guys. So they will post the transaction JVs. Okay, so they will prepare the financial statements every month. So for that case, so there is one date should be fixed up. Okay, from non-SAP to SAP, and all the data should be migrated from SAP. So there is one date should be fixed up. So that date, so we need to upload entire activities and we will close that SAP non-SAP system. We should not use it. Okay. So that details is very little bit high level. So those things will be covered in the next classes. Okay. For the time being, you just understand what is the terminology I'm discussing over here. In the coming classes, we will go through each and everything. Okay. Okay. See, once implementation. See, implementation means planning, blueprint, configuration, testing. So these are all things are done. So the project moved to go live. So go live means production system. So end users post different kind of transactions in only production system. Okay, they will finalize the financial statements every month. So these things will be happening in the production system only. So the next step would be troubleshooting. Okay, so here your duty will be over as a FICO consultant. Once the system is moved to production, that means your all the activities, configuration, testing, blueprint, and everything has been completed. Then the client will send off you to the next project. Okay, next project, or they may relieve from the project, and you can directly go to your main payroll company, IBM or TCS, any company. So they will assign one more project. Okay, so if your performance is not satisfactory in the first project, even for implementation also your performance not up to the mark or not satisfactory with your client, even they will send off you to your parent company. Okay, or they will assign another project. Okay, if you say this project is not fit for your skill set and any other things you just cover up over there, then they will assign you another project. Even if you are not working that another project also, and you feel that it is completely difficult for me, they will send off you to another. They will send off you to your payroll company, and your payroll company also will assign the another project. Okay, don't worry. Okay. All about.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you have told that.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, my voice is coming back to me. What is it?
Your voice is not audible. So just chart me. Okay, so you just the details, whatever the question you want to ask, please put into chart. Okay, I will check. See, the next step would be should be troubleshooting. So troubleshoot means once the project is moved to go live, so your implementation has been finished up. Now the next step should be so troubleshooting. Troubleshooting means if end user posting any kind of JVs, okay, any technical issue they are challenging. Okay, so if they face any technical issues, they are challenging that case, they will raise the tickets. Okay, so generally in real time there are four types of tickets that we can see. Okay, one is a P1 ticket, and the second one is P2 ticket, and third one is P3 ticket, and a P4 ticket. So you will have to work in real time these tickets only. Okay, for the troubleshooting. Troubleshooting means support project. This is implementation. Troubleshooting comes under the supporting project. So here the tickets can be classified as P1, P2, P3 and P4. You will be working as a support project consultant for the AMS. AMS means is also called a support project. Okay, so you will have to resolve the issues. So P1, P2, P3 and P4. So P1 ticket, P2 ticket is a high priority tickets. Okay, so these are high priority tickets. Okay, so these are low priority, medium priority, and this is low priority. So you will have to work in real time based on the priority and severity. You will have to resolve the issues. Okay, so ticket will be raised by your end users. So the ticketing tool should be, so you can say directly ServiceNow or Solman. Ticketing tool should be ServiceNow and Solman. Yes, you are correct. See, it is also part of, not duty, it's a part of your responsibility. Let's say, for example, data migration activity. So I will tell you tomorrow. So some of the project types. Okay, types of projects in SAP. Okay, so that the project types, data migration. Data migration means whatever the data is already there with client, the same thing will be uploaded through LSMW or BDC. Then data will be transferred from non-SAP to SAP. Okay, so that is also part of SAP FICO consultant. Is at the time of uploading activities, any errors will come. So as a FICO consultant, you need to resolve that issues. So you are completely solely responsible for resolving the issues. Okay, whether it is a technical error, functional error, what kind of error, you are completely take ownership, and you will discuss with your business user who is facing the issue, then resolve the issues. Okay. So troubleshooting is just like so tickets. Okay, here there are 3-4 kind of tickets we can see in real time. P1 ticket, high level ticket, P2 high level, P3 medium, P4 low. So you will have to resolve the issues based on the priority and the severity. Okay, so priority and severity. Let's say, for example, so there is month ending happened. Okay, so that case user is facing one kind of posting error. He cannot able to post the transaction. So he is facing some technical challenge. So then what happens? So he will directly go to SAP and ServiceNow, and he will raise the ticket. So he will raise directly P1 ticket because the urgency is more. He need to finish up, finalize. He need to finalize the financial statements. So in within hours. So that case there is no time, right? So P1 and P2 is the high priority tickets. So actually these tickets will be P1 ticket time duration will be 2 hours. Okay, and the P2 time duration will be 6 hours. P3 time duration will be 3 days, and the P4 time duration will be 4 days. Okay, so maximum they will raise these kind of issues, P1 and P2 tickets. Okay, so they will raise these tickets, P1 and P2 tickets. So once the P1 ticket will come, then you need to be more alert and you need to resolve the issues. In coming classes, so many errors that we need to face. So that case, I will tell you what is P1 and P2 and what kind of errors we will face. So how to resolve those things, I will tell you in the system. Okay. So for the time being, you just understand the process and SAP terminology. So the next class will be how types of projects, how many types of projects we have in SAP. Okay. So troubleshooting means you need to resolve the tickets. That is also FICO consultant role. Okay. And the next one, what is next one? Troubleshooting and end user training. Okay. See, at the initial stage.
Sir, sir, those 2 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours is the deadline for us to complete that issue or resolve this issue?
For the troubleshooting?
Yes, sir. As a
Yes,
SAP
that is the reason I told you, right? So this is the deadline.
Okay.
So for P1 ticket, if user writes P1 ticket, you need to resolve within 2 hours. Okay, if user writes a P2 ticket 6 hours, P3 is 3 days and P4 is 4 days.
Okay.
Okay. And end user training. It is also part of SAP consultant, FICO consultant, to provide a training to the end users, because you have done the configuration, you made the documentation. Okay, so all these things you know very well. You are completely familiar about the SAP system. So entire configurations you have implemented, you have mapped. So there, that case you know very well, right? How to do the postings, and you also perform different kind of testing activities. For testing activities, that the results, whether it is test script is passed or failed, those things also you attached in the ALM tool. So you are very familiar with the SAP system. So it is your duty to provide the end user document, and also you need to provide the training to the end users. Okay. So as a FICO consultant, you need to provide the training to the end users. So that is also part of roles and responsibilities of SAP FICO. Okay. And the next step should be documentation and compliance. Documentation and compliance. So documentation means for every we need to maintain every document. Okay, so whatever the configurations you performed, so for that point of view also we need to maintain the document, configuration documents, and you are also doing some kind of testing activities and executing the test results, test scripts, and finally the output result, like whether it is pass or fail. So those things also you need to attach in the ALM tool, right? So that documentation is very important. So if documentation is not there and you're properly not maintained, what happened? Can anyone tell me? So if documentation is not maintained, if IT documents are not maintained in properly and there is no compliance, what happened? What is the impact? Tell me, what is the impact? What is the impact? So any CA, CMS here?
And user will system.
So if the client is not maintaining the documents in proper way and he is not following the compliance, then what happened?
Sir, first of all, if he's not maintaining the details properly, then the SAP FICO consultants, they cannot configure the details properly. First thing. Second thing, when the end users.
See, if FICO consultant is not maintaining the documents in proper way, so there should be actually for every quarterly, monthly or yearly basis, there are some internal audits and statutory audits will be conducted by Deloitte team or PwC team, right? So every year they will conduct statutory audits, IT audits. So your share market will be come down. So if you do not maintain the proper documentation, okay, in market the share value will be come down. Okay, so if auditor write anything wrong or any red mark he has noticed, then what happens? So your shares will be down automatically in the shares market. So this is huge impact on the business side. So that is the reason client need to follow the proper documentation. So that is the reason they will give more pressure on the SAP FICO side. Please maintain the documents and put that you need to create one folder where all the documents and KT documents, KT videos should be uploaded. So that way they will suggest every meeting, right? So this is very important for the next consultant also. So let's say, for example, I started a configuration and now I complete all the configuration. Then if I not uploaded those documents in the KT folders, then what happens? So other consultant will come and check. There is no documents. Then how you can understand where the project has been come and what are the configurations he performed. So how we can know? It would be very difficult to next consultants if he is not maintained in proper documentation. Okay, so this is all about basic class. See roles and responsibilities of SAP FICO consultant. So guys, already I told you. Okay, just I'm giving overview regarding this today's session. So here FICO or S4HANA consultant will participate in different kind of activities. The first one is strategic level. So here you will participate the kickoff meeting, and so the project manager will explain the goals and objectives and SLA and business process and all the requirements from the client. So these all things will be you need to get from the your project manager. And the next step would be next step would be the operational level. Here there are different kind of test documents like as is to be and gap documents will be there. So your duty is to prepare the gap document and to be document. And the configuration level, there are two types of configurations we need to perform: baseline configuration and final configuration. So here is the implementation strategy, planning, blueprint, configuration, and testing. So all the testing activities we need to perform. So we need to prepare the test scripts and we need to check that test scripts whether it is passed or failed. Those results need to be attached in the ALM tool. ALM tool is just like application lifecycle management tool, and some of the important technical aspects that we need to be participate with ABAPer. So here I just told you guys it is RISE-IF concept, very important concept. It is W stands for workflow, reports, interfaces, enhancements, forms, and so almost all of the RISE-IF activities we need to perform from ABAPer side. But anyhow, as a functional consultant, so we need to give the details to the ABAPer, and whatever the ABAPer requirement will be there. So 20 to 30% part you will have to participate. And anyhow, this concept I will explain next class is very important session. So what is your role in the RISE-IF concept? I will make a separate video for this. So once the project is moved to go live, so before that cutover activities will be there. So cutover means all the data migration or data loading activities we can say. So if client has 50,000 customers, 10,000 vendors, 2,000 materials, so we can upload these things in within 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours. Okay. So all the data should be migrated from non-SAP to SAP. So client never used SAP. So earlier they have already data in the SAP non-SAP system. They want to switch on SAP system. They will switch off a non-SAP system and they will send off all the data through LSMW and BDC to SAP. Okay, and the project is moved to go live. That means your work has been completed, and so if your work is satisfactory, then your client will assign one more project within the same company. If your work is not satisfactory in the initial stage itself, they will send off. Or if there is no projects are there with client, then also they will send off to your parent company. So in parent company will assign one more project, whether it may be support project or rollout project or implementation project. So they will tell you. So those things will be discussed once implementation has been done, and so you will have to touch base with your parent company. Okay. Troubleshooting means it's a supporting project. So there are different kind of supporting activities that we need to do in real time. We need to resolve the end users issues. Okay, so if end user facing any kind of posting errors, any technical challenges, then they will raise errors, they will raise tickets. So that they will raise tickets from the ServiceNow or Solman. So ticket time duration will be 2 hours, P2 ticket time duration will be 6 hours, P3 3 days, and P4 4 days. So it is also your duty to perform end user activities training. So from your side, you need to perform end user training, and you need to make the end user documents and prepare the document, and you need to follow the compliance. Okay, so these are all things you need to perform in real time. So this is SAP FICO or S/4HANA consultant duties. Okay. Any questions? If you have, then you can ask me. Okay, guys, those people already paid, so please send me the screenshot to this CB ID. So this is very important for you. So please send your screenshots to this CB ID. Okay. So and tomorrow we are starting main classes. So please be these are some of the classes we have given free. Almost 3 or 4 classes we have given free to some of the people. But tomorrow onwards, so no, only paid students will be there in the system, and so it is better. Please send your screenshot to this CBID. Okay. So people who are completely new, so please complete your registration formalities. So already the numbers we have shared. So please connect to them and get the details. And if any kind of questions, queries, you can feel free to contact me in the sessions. Okay. So in the coming classes, we will give you some assignments. Okay, so based on that assignments, you need to prepare from your side, and the same thing you need to explain in these classes. So there may be some presentations and some kind of motivation and some important areas we will discuss everyday basis. So the next classes should be more attractive and more important for you guys. So right now, what are the sessions I explained? These are all basic stuff. Okay, so these sessions will helpful to you to understand the basic knowledge on SAP side. If you go for any projects, so this terminology is very important, right? So at least you will understand what exactly the uploading or data migration, LSMW, BDC, basic terminology that you get it right now. So request everyone, so please be send payment screenshot this CBID. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to taking more important classes. These are all important and more attractive classes will be going on. And right now I will share you one document to you regarding this SAP FICO roles and responsibilities. So my sincere request is, if you want to continue SAP FICO training, so please follow up my strategies and guidance what I am giving into the classes, so that it would be easier for you to get the knowledge and also to make yourself more perfect in SAP FICO level. Okay. 1 minute, please. So right now, for the time being, I'm sharing you one document. So please open up this document first. Okay. So once you open the document, so now what is your next step? So please download. And one more request is, please be download all the videos to your desktop. Okay. If you keep if you are not downloading from the Skype, what happened? It should be removed from this Skype. Okay, it's automatically that video will be removed from this Skype. So we that is SAP the Skype video will be there up to 30 days only. Okay, so please be download my videos. Okay, so one session is ended up, this 55 minutes video will come to the chart. Okay, so please be download those videos already. We have told, right? So please open up this document right now. So please open up this document, and this is the document about SAP FICO consultant roles, and the terminology is little bit complex. Okay, so please read out the document, understand the concept. So you will explain in the next class at least 10 to 15 minutes. So I have only 20 members right now. So please open this document and read the entire job position and start from and explain this roles and responsibilities at least 10 to 15 minutes without looking the document. That is my expectation. This is one kind of assignment that I am sharing you right now. And if you prepare this document that way, definitely So once you go to any company, so there should not be any problem with understanding the business requirement at least. Okay, so the terminology is little bit complex in that system, in that document, but from your side, so just to make your put your efforts to understand the terminology, and everyone should explain this concept 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so volunteers, please share your names over here in the chart. So first on the volunteers, after that, so next people should explain. Okay, in my sessions almost all of the people should be active, and whatever the assignments I'm going to giving you, so those things you need to be follow, and that things is very vital for you, because so SAP FICO consultant job is not an easy. Okay, it requires more efforts, and it requires more time to understand the process. Okay, so if anyone says SAP FICO is very simple and we can finish up in time, so so everything will be easier, so nothing else. Okay, SAP FICO or S/4HANA, these jobs are not an easy thing. Okay, SAP jobs are not an easy, but so if once it become very easier, if you make some practice in the system, and if you make some more efforts, okay, at least you need to spend 4 to 5 hours, then only, so the system, then only it should be very easier to crack interviews, or also you can work in real time. Okay, see, I shared you one document to you right now, so please open the document, and then next class I will ask you, so who is giving the presentation, so you can start your presentation 10 to 15 minutes. So I will not stop you, or I will not make any corrections at the initial stages. Okay, so just explain whatever you know. So it is just like open up your mouth, that's it. Okay, if you explain 5 minutes or 10 seconds, 30 seconds, also fine for me. Okay, just open up your mouth and say something over here. Okay, so that is my expectation. So from next class, so you people should read the document and explain over here. Okay, so just give your names in the chat box. So volunteers, please share your names in the chat box. Any volunteer to explain this concept? So volunteers, see, if I start in Telugu classes, almost 15-20 people will explain. Okay, so Telugu classes also they will explain in English. Okay, so even I explain in Telugu, but so people should express their content in only English. Okay, only Tanya and Munama has given their details. Sandeep, Nitin. Okay, 4 members shared. Mauli Kumar. Okay, Raju. Okay, fine. At least 5 to 6 people. Tomorrow I explain, and the next day 5 to 6 people. So we will finish up with this presentation classes in the next next 3 or 4 classes. Okay. So tomorrow we have class. Okay, tomorrow we have class, and day after tomorrow, Sunday, we do not have any classes. Again, so our classes will be continued from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, only 4 classes we have in every week. Okay, if class is not there, so then I will take one more session, so that details will be notified in the chart. Okay, because I'm giving you more time, so you people read and do more practice. Okay, this is my expectation. Thank you so much, guys. We will see tomorrow.